Hey everybody, it's Jim Norton here on Ozzy's Boneyard. I actually came into Sirius. I never come in on my vacation. And this is not a sign of me being dedicated today. It's just a sign of how fucking undedicated I am every other time. But obviously Lemmy died a couple of days ago. And I was going to come on last night, but Boneyard did this great thing. They had a live tribute, which I'm sure a lot of you heard, with all these great artists calling in and talking about Lemmy. So tonight, I wanted to play a bunch of my favorite Motörhead songs. You don't realize how many Motörhead songs you like until you try to pick your favorite ones. It's literally like trying to pick the favorite couch to get blown on. You just can't. You know, you think of one couch, I got blown on that one, it was great, but then you think of another one, like, but that was a good blowjob. It's impossible to narrow down my favorite Motörhead songs. So I guess we'll just start with this. That was Sucker. I never hear that one played on the radio. I was in L.A., I guess it was 2 weeks ago, was the last time I saw Lemmy at his birthday party. I had gotten a call from his management they said, do you want to host Lemmy's birthday party, kind of MC it? So I went out to L.A. to do it from Vegas. And I get there and Eddie Trunk is there and Jim Florentine and Don, the guys from that metal show. And they were going to host the earlier part of it, then I was going to do the later part of it. And then we're like, fuck it, let's just do it, all of us together, because we're all friends. So everything was behind. Everything was about 2 hours behind, because I think, that's the way it is in music. Matt Sorum put a lot of it together. He did a great job, but it's just one of those things where, it's hard to get a bunch of rock and rollers to organize something. So we wound up just going up at the beginning together, the four of us, but there was only 3 mics. It was really awkward. The crowd was talking. We're like, fuck this, let the musicians do it. But I was honored to be a part of it at all. And when I saw him, you could tell something was very, very wrong and that he was very sick, but I wasn't expecting him to go this fast. I got a call from a guy named Dixon, who's Dixon Edwards, who's Lemmy's, I guess, assistant. And he called me the other day and he goes, look, we're going to make an announcement today that Lemmy has cancer. It's very bad. And then a few hours later, he called me back to say, he passed away an hour ago. So really, really sad. But again, 70 years old. We're lucky we got 70 years. 70 Lemmy years. Okay, this is not fucking 70 guy who worked out a lot years. These are 70 Lemmy years. And the fact that this guy fucking power drank and smoked his face off for 57 years. It's a miracle. We got as much great Motörhead stuff as we got. So I feel bummed, but I also feel grateful that Lemmy was around for as long as he was. One of my favorite songs by Motörhead, look, I love the heavy shit as much as everyone, but I think that they never did their slower stuff live, which I asked Lemmy one time, would he ever do this song live? And he goes, we can't, the fans wouldn't stand for it. But that's, by the way, the worst fucking Lemmy impression you'll ever hear. But this is the title track off of 1916.
You're listening to Obsessed. I'm Jim Norton. This is my show. I hope it's not sucking.
Ozzy's Boneyard. Only on Sirius XM.
We've come to that point in the show. We have one song left. Unfortunately, I don't get 6 hours to do my Lemmy tribute because it really is hard to narrow it down. There's a lot of stuff we didn't get to play tonight. I tried to play some stuff that typically doesn't get played. But Lemmy did covers of The Trooper by Maiden, Shouted Out Loud by Kiss, The Train Kept A-Rollin' is, I think, off the first Motörhead record. There's so many great things you can just go out and seek out on YouTube if you want to hear some obscure Motörhead or obscure Lemmy stuff. And there's some great articles on Lemmy popping up today, which is nice. I was getting so irritated with the mainstream media. I'm like, where the fuck are all the Lemmy articles, you assholes? And then today the New York Post did a great tribute to Lemmy. So I was happy to see that and happy to see him getting, at least some recognition, which he certainly deserves. But I really didn't know what to close with. But I found this great acoustic version of a song that I really love. And, for those of you who met Lemmy and for those of us that were lucky enough to ever do anything with him or interact with him, he really was a lovely man. For such a hardcore guy and such the image of a guy who drank and smoked and fucked and was just an animal, he could not have been a lovelier person. And he was really sweet to fans. I never saw him be anything but nice to people when they would approach him. So I feel very fortunate to have known him at all. So I guess goodbye, Lemmy, and thank you for so many great years.